For many millennia, humanity has sought the keys to unlocking its hidden potential, to mastering not only the external world, but also the inner landscape of its own consciousness. These quests gave rise to teachings, philosophical systems, and, at times, texts whose power was so great that their fate became no less dramatic than their content. One such text, which emerged at the dawn of the 20th century, still provokes debate, admiration, and profound contemplation. We speak of the Master Key System by Charles Haanel. The book, written in 1912, became an instant bestseller, spreading throughout the world due to its unique form and profound content. It promised not merely success, but a complete mastery of the principles governing reality. However, as is often the case with ideas capable of shifting paradigms, its path was not without challenges. In 1933, at the height of the Great Depression, when millions of people desperately sought a way out of the crisis, copies of the Master Key System were withdrawn from public access. This decision, made without wide announcement, shrouded the book in an aura of mystery, giving rise to legends about its incredible power and potential danger to established orders. What was contained within these pages that could so alarm those in power? And why, more than a century later, do its ideas remain relevant, continuing to inspire millions of people worldwide, from financial magnates to spiritual seekers? We shall delve into one of the most profound lessons of this monumental work, a lesson that invites you to rethink the very concept of thought and its boundless power. To grasp the scope of Charles Haanel's ideas, one must look at the man who formulated them. Charles Francis Haanel was born on May 22, 1866, in St. Louis, Missouri. His childhood and youth unfolded during America's era of rapid industrial growth, a time when enterprise and innovation were considered the highest virtues. From a young age, Haanel proved himself a man of keen intellect and extraordinary acumen. He was not an academic scholar in the traditional sense, but possessed that rare gift which allowed him to perceive deep-seated patterns where others saw only chaos, and to apply these patterns to achieve practical results. His early career was devoted to business, where he quickly ascended the corporate ladder, demonstrating outstanding organizational abilities and strategic thinking. He founded several companies, the most renowned of which was the Continental Commercial Company, engaged in trade, investments, and resource development. Under his leadership, this company transformed into a veritable business empire, encompassing various industries from mining to real estate. Haanel did not merely earn money. He built complex, efficient systems that operated on principles he deemed universal. He was a man of action, a pragmatist who believed in the power of applied knowledge and ceaselessly sought methods of optimization. However, despite impressive successes in the world of finance, Charles Haanel felt that deeper, more fundamental laws lay hidden beneath material achievement. He began to study metaphysics, philosophy, and ancient teachings, attempting to find the connecting thread between the visible world of cause and effect and the invisible world of thought and consciousness. He spent years in research, correlating Eastern wisdom with Western philosophy, studying the works of thinkers such as Ralph Waldo Emerson and Thomas Troward, as well as the scientific advancements of his time. The Master Key System was the result of these years of research and personal experience, tested in practice. Originally in 1912, the Master Key System was not published as a book in the usual sense, but as a weekly course consisting of 24 lessons sent by mail. This format was chosen not by chance, but deliberately. Haanel understood that profound knowledge requires not merely passive reading, but constant practice, contemplation, and integration. Each lesson concluded with a specific exercise that the reader was to perform during the week before receiving the next installment. Such a methodical approach allowed for gradual assimilation of the material, its integration into daily life, and observation of the changes occurring in one's own experience. This was not a course for the curious, but a strict discipline for those prepared to dedicate themselves to transformation. Among Haanel's clients were not only ordinary people seeking a better life, but also many influential industrialists and businessmen of the era, who intuitively felt that success was driven not solely by economic factors, but by something greater, mental principles governing human potential. Figures such as Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford were already actively interested in principles of personal development and the psychology of achievement. These individuals, accustomed to a systematic approach in business, appreciated Haanel's pragmatism and clarity of exposition. They understood that the Master Key System was not merely a collection of esoteric ideas, but a practical guide to applying universal laws for achieving concrete, measurable results. It was this combination of profound philosophy and applied pragmatism that made the Master Key system so appealing and influential, laying the groundwork for an entire genre of self-help literature that would later inspire giants such as Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale, and, decades later, even Oprah Winfrey, becoming one of the cornerstones of modern thinking about success and self-realization. It is within the context of such a profound yet pragmatic approach that we arrive at the 11th lesson of the Master Key system, a lesson many consider one of the most potent and transformative. In it, Haanel offers you not merely knowledge, but a method, a way of thinking capable of overturning your understanding of reality and your possibilities. He begins this lesson with a quotation that at first glance might seem a simple religious dogma, but in his interpretation reveals the limitless depths of universal law. These are the words from the Gospel of Mark chapter 11 verse 24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Haanel insists, these words are not merely a promise for the chosen or an act of divine intervention, but a direct indication of a fundamental principle of the functioning of consciousness and the universe. He urges the reader to contemplate the boundlessness of this promise. What things soever ye desire is not simply a metaphor. It literally means everything . There are no limitations save those which you yourself establish in your own consciousness. He emphasizes that the key word here is believe. Not hope, not wish, but precisely believe that you receive them. This is not passive faith, not blind expectation of a miracle, but an active, convinced knowledge that the desired is already yours on the mental level. Here and now before it manifests on the physical plane. It is a state of mind in which you already feel yourself the possessor of the desired, experiencing it as an accomplished fact. It is this feeling of possession, this mental reality that serves as the catalyst for its manifestation in the material world. For Haanel, this biblical quotation serves as a starting point for unfolding the inductive method of thinking that underlies all true achievement. He asserts that power comes in repose, it is in the silence that we can think, and thought is the secret of all achievement. This is not merely a beautiful phrase, it is an indication of the deep interrelation between an inner state of peace, clarity of thought, and the ability to manifest the desired. The inductive method, of which Haanel speaks, is a path from the particular to the general, from a singular truth to a universal law. You take a specific statement, a specific idea, such as the quote from Mark, and begin to unfold it, investigate it, meditate upon it, until its meaning reveals itself to you on all levels of being. This is a process in which you do not merely seek answers externally, but allow them to emerge from within, from the depths of your own consciousness. The inductive method, in Haanel's understanding, is not merely a logical technique, but a tool for uncovering the deepest truths and shaping a new reality. In contrast to deduction, which proceeds from general, already established rules and applies them to particular cases, induction begins with the observation of a specific phenomenon, fact, or statement, and through deep, focused contemplation upon it, arrives at the discovery of universal laws. This, in his view, is how humanity has always made its greatest discoveries. Be it in science, philosophy, or the spiritual realm, it is a process that demands not merely analysis, but also synthesis, not merely logic, but also intuition. Imagine a scientist observing an apple fall. If he thought only deductively, he would simply apply the already known laws of gravity. But the inductive approach demands something different. It requires a deepened consideration of this particular fall, its details, its uniqueness, in order to, perhaps, transcend existing conceptions and discover something new. It is precisely this approach that allows one to move beyond prejudices and ready answers, to break through the mental blinkers we ourselves establish. It is a process that actively forms new neural connections in the brain, compelling it to work differently, more creatively, and holistically. Haanel emphasizes that this method allows you not merely to accept someone else's truth on faith, but to discover it for yourself to make it a part of your personal experience and understanding. When you contemplate the quotation, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them, you do not merely repeat it, you begin to investigate what things soever mean. What specific aspects of your life does it encompass? What does it mean to believe that ye receive them? What is that feeling like? How does it differ from wishing or hoping? You penetrate the essence of these words, allowing them to unfold like a flower bud, layer by layer, discovering beneath them not merely metaphors, but concrete, actionable principles. This is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is a profound meditative practice that leads to a change in your inner state. Haanel asserts that it is in this process of calm, focused contemplation in the silence that your mind becomes receptive to higher truths. He writes, "Power comes in repose. It is in the silence that we can think, and thought is the secret of all achievement." This silence is not an absence of sounds, but an absence of inner noise, of mental agitation, which usually drowns out intuition and deep understanding. In this repose, thought becomes pure, focused, and consequently incredibly powerful. It ceases to be merely a reaction to the external world and becomes an active, creative force capable of shaping reality. For Haanel, thought is not merely a product of the brain, but a manifestation of universal mind, an energy that permeates all existence. When you learn to consciously and purposefully use this energy, you become the master of your destiny. Inductive contemplation, beginning with one seemingly simple truth, becomes the key to realizing this boundless power within you. It is a path to understanding that you are not merely an observer of reality, but its active co-creator, whose thoughts possess real, measurable power capable of influencing matter and events. Remarkably, Haanel's insights into the nature of inductive thinking found confirmation in the works of distinguished scientists and philosophers of the 20th and 21st centuries, who, perhaps without reading the Master Key system, arrived at similar conclusions while investigating the logic of scientific discovery and the nature of consciousness. Thus, for instance, the Austrian-British philosopher Karl Popper, in his seminal work The Logic of Scientific Discovery published in 1934, 22 years after Haanel's course was released, showed that induction, while not a method of proving scientific theories, plays a crucial role in their discovery. Popper argued that scientific hypotheses are not born from a simple generalization of observations. They are bold conjectures, creative acts of the mind, which are then subjected to testing. These hypotheses often arise from deep inductive contemplation of specific phenomena, of individual facts that do not fit into existing paradigms. The scientist, like a seeker of truth, takes one particular problem, one singular paradox, and immerses himself in it, allowing a new idea to form. This resonates absolutely with Haanel's idea that thought is the secret of all achievement, and that it is born in repose. Even earlier, in 1878, the American philosopher, logician, and mathematician Charles Sanders Peirce described the concept of abduction, reasoning to the best explanation. Peirce asserted that abduction is precisely the type of reasoning used to generate new hypotheses. You encounter a set of unexplained facts, an astonishing phenomenon, and through a creative leap of thought, arrive at a new idea that could explain these facts. This is not deduction, from general to particular, nor pure induction, from particular to general by generalization, but rather a process of creating a new general idea from particular observations. This is very close to what Haanel calls contemplating a singular truth to reveal a universal law. The greatest mind of the 20th century, Albert Einstein, also recognized that his revolutionary theories, such as the theory of relativity, were not the result of simple deduction or data accumulation. They often came to him through deep inductive contemplation of one seemingly simple paradox or thought experiment. Recall his famous thought experiment with an observer and a moving elevator, or with a person chasing a beam of light. These singular concrete situations became the starting point for grand theories that changed our understanding of space, time, and energy. Einstein possessed a unique ability to immerse himself in one idea, unfolding it in all possible directions until its internal logic revealed universal principles to him. And even literary characters such as the legendary detective Sherlock Holmes, whose methods are often mistakenly called deduction, in fact use precisely abduction, or inductive thinking in the Haanelian sense. Conan Doyle describes his method as deduction, but in practice Holmes does not apply general laws to particular cases. He takes the smallest particular details, a speck of dust on a boot, a shade of mud, an unusual knot, and on the basis of these singular facts creates a hypothesis about the crime, about the identity of the criminal, about the motives. He unfolds these details, seeing in them keys to a broader picture, to a universal explanation. This is the movement from the particular to the general, from a singular truth to a universal law. Modern science continues to confirm these ideas about the formative power of thought and consciousness. For example, research in neuroplasticity, detailed by Dr. Norman Doige in his book The Brain That Changes Itself published in 2007, shows that the brain is not a static structure, but constantly changes and reorganizes in response to our experiences, thoughts, and focus of attention. Focused inductive contemplation literally rewires our brain, creating new neural pathways and strengthening existing ones, which allows us to perceive reality in new ways. Biologist Bruce Lipton, in his works on epigenetics, demonstrates that not only our genes determine our destiny, but also our environment, our beliefs, and our thoughts can influence gene activity, effectively changing biological reality. This resonates with Haanel's idea that thought is a creative force capable of influencing the physical world. And finally, even at the quantum level, experiments such as those conducted by Alain Aspect in 1982, confirming quantum entanglement, hint at a deep interconnectedness of all existence, where individual particles remain linked, regardless of distance. This metaphorically reflects the idea that deep immersion in one particle of truth can reveal a connection to the entire system of the universe. These examples from the world of science and even fiction show that the inductive method, which Haanel offers as a path to personal mastery, is a fundamental principle of knowledge and creativity. It is not merely a way to learn something new, but a way to create new understanding, new possibilities, a new reality. But the idea of delving into a singular truth to reveal the universal is not new. It permeates many ancient spiritual and philosophical traditions, proving the universality of this method of cognition and its enduring relevance. Take, for example, the Knights Templar, the mysterious chivalric order of the Middle Ages. Their spiritual practices, shrouded in many legends, included hours of meditation on a single object, the cross. To an external observer, this might have seemed simple veneration of a symbol, but for the initiates, the cross was not merely a symbol of crucifixion. It was a mandala, a geometric projection of cosmology, a point of intersection of the material and spiritual, the horizontal and vertical. By contemplating one cross, the Templars sought to see in it the entire universe, all its laws, all its mysteries. From a singular symbol, they moved to an understanding of the entire cosmology, the entire structure of being, revealing within themselves profound insights into creation and their place within it, gaining not only spiritual wisdom but also inner strength that allowed them to perform great deeds. In the Jewish mystical tradition Kabbalah, there exists a practice known as hitbonedet, deep contemplation or meditation. This is not merely reflection, but an active, focused immersion in one idea, one letter of the name of God, one concept, until its inner meaning reveals itself in its full completeness. Each letter of the Hebrew alphabet, each name of God, is considered a portal to infinite levels of meaning. A practitioner of hitbone can delve for hours into one letter, unfolding its meaning on physical, psychological, and metaphysical levels, until he sees in it a reflection of the entire universe, all its mysteries, comprehending the deep interrelation between microcosm and macrocosm. This gave them not only knowledge but also a sense of unity with the source of all being. A similar principle is found in the Sufi tradition of Islam, where there is the practice of dhikr, the remembrance of God. This can be the repetition of one of the 99 names of God, or one phrase, or even a simple sound. Sufis believe that through focused rhythmic repetition of one name, the mind is cleansed of worldly anxieties, and one gradually dissolves into the divine presence. The singular name becomes a key to realizing the unity of all existence, to a deep spiritual insight that transcends rational understanding, bestowing a state of bliss and profound peace. By repeating one phrase, they discover boundlessness. And of course, Zen Buddhism with its famous koans. A koan is a paradoxical question or statement that has no logical answer, and is intended to lead the mind beyond rational thought, to stimulate intuitive insight. One of the most famous koans, "What was your face before your parents were born?" This is not a question that can be answered with words. It is an invitation to deep inductive contemplation of one seemingly absurd idea, until the mind makes a leap, transcends habitual concepts of time, identity, and existence, and reaches satori, enlightenment, a state of absolute clarity and freedom. In the ancient Indian tradition and texts such as the Yoga Vasista we also find the deepest discussions about the nature of consciousness and the illusory nature of the material world, which are achieved through focused contemplation on one principle or idea. The sage Vasista teaches Prince Rama that the entire world is merely a manifestation of the mind, and that through a deepened understanding of this single truth, liberation can be attained. This is an inductive movement from the particular observation of mental phenomena to the realization of its universal, all-pervading nature. All these ancient practices, though differing in form and cultural context, point to the same fundamental principle, the possibility of revealing universal truths by immersing oneself in one, seemingly particular idea, symbol, or question. This confirms that the inductive method which Haanel proposes is not merely a modern invention, but an eternal path to deep knowledge and self-realization, tested by millennia of human experience and leading to the attainment of genuine power and wisdom. It is this centuries-old universal principle that forms the basis of the practical assignment in the 11th lesson of the Master Key system. Haanel invites you not merely to read and agree, but to make this knowledge your own, to integrate it into the very fabric of your being. He urges you to choose one phrase. It could be a sacred quotation like Mark 11:24, or a scientific statement, or a profound philosophical thought. It is important that this phrase resonates with you, that it contains the potential for deep revelation, and that it arouses genuine interest. Then, every day for an entire month, you are to dedicate 15 minutes to focused contemplation upon this phrase. This is not merely repeating words nor attempting to find a ready answer in books or from other people. It is an active yet calm immersion into its essence, into its vibration, into its energy. Haanel insists, allow the meaning to unfold to you. What does this phrase mean on a physical level? How does it manifest in your body, in your environment, in the material world? What does it mean on a psychological level? How does it affect your emotions, your thoughts, your perception of yourself and others, your beliefs? And, finally, what does it mean on a metaphysical level? How is it connected to universal laws, to the nature of consciousness, to the boundless potential of which Haanel speaks, to the first cause of all existence? This process is not a search, but an allowing asterisk. You allow the profound wisdom contained within this phrase to manifest from within you, from your subconscious mind, from the collective field of consciousness. You train your mind to see not only the surface, but also the depth, not only the particular, but also the universal. You learn to hear the voice of the silence, in which true thought and true power are born. This is a practice that develops not only intellect, but also intuition, and most importantly, your ability to consciously shape your reality based on a deep understanding of its fundamental principles. This is not merely a change in your thinking, it is a change in yourself at a profound level, a transformation of your consciousness and your capacity for action. It is through such systematic inductive contemplation that you begin to see how, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them, ceases to be merely a beautiful promise and becomes a tangible working truth in your own life. This is the first step toward becoming a true master key to your own existence, unlocking your boundless potential and gaining the ability to create your reality at your discretion. It is this process, this methodical and deep immersion into the essence of a single truth, that serves as a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern scientific understanding. What Charles Haanel offered as a path to self-realization at the beginning of the 20th century is today finding ever new confirmations in cutting-edge research into the human mind and body. Science, which for a long time separated matter and consciousness, is now beginning to realize their inseparable connection, revealing the mechanisms by which thought can indeed shape our reality. Modern neurobiology, for example, has discovered an astonishing phenomenon known as neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself, forming new neural connections throughout life. Until recently, it was believed that the adult brain was static and its structure immutable. However, research in recent decades has completely refuted this dogma. Dr. Norman Doige, in his seminal book The Brain That Changes Itself published in 2007, described in detail how our brain constantly rewires itself under the influence of experience, learning, and even our thoughts. He showed that we are not simply passive recipients of information from the external world, We are active architects of our own neural network. One of the most striking and convincing proofs of neuroplasticity is the famous study conducted by Eleanor Maguire and her colleagues in 2002. They studied the brains of London taxi drivers. To become a licensed taxi driver in London, one must pass an incredibly difficult examination known as the Knowledge. This requires memorizing 25,000 streets, countless landmarks, and the shortest routes between them, which takes an average of 3 to 4 years of intensive study. The researchers found that experienced London taxi drivers had a significantly increased volume in the posterior hippocampus, a brain region critical for spatial navigation and memory formation. Moreover, the longer a taxi driver worked, the larger their hippocampus. This convincingly demonstrates that intensive, purposeful mental activity, such as daily contemplation of a complex city map, literally changes the physical structure of the brain. If merely memorizing streets can lead to such significant changes, imagine what can happen when you purposefully and daily, for a month, focus your contemplation on one profound truth. As Haanel suggests, you are not merely thinking about a phrase, you are actively forming new neural pathways, strengthening connections that support your new understanding and perception of reality. You are literally reprogramming your brain to be attuned to perceiving and realizing what you are contemplating. This is not a metaphor. It is a physiological process that allows you to expand your cognitive map to see the boundless possibilities hidden in the ordinary. Another revolutionary field, epigenetics, reveals how our thoughts and environment can influence the expression of our genes without altering the DNA sequence itself. Dr. Bruce Lipton, author of *The Biology of Belief*, was one of the first to popularize the idea that cells respond not to genes, but to the perception of the environment. We are not victims of our genes, we are their conductors. Genes are merely blueprints, and epigenetic mechanisms determine which of these blueprints will be activated and which will remain dormant. One of the most astonishing experiments in this field was a study conducted by Brian Dias and Kerry Ressler in 2014. They trained male mice to fear the scent of cherry blossom acetophenone by subjecting them to mild electric shocks each time the scent appeared. The mice quickly developed a strong fear, but the most surprising thing happened next. The offspring of these mice, never subjected to electric shocks and never encountering the cherry scent, showed increased sensitivity and fear of acetophenone, and even their grandchildren exhibited the same reaction. The researchers found changes in the DNA of the father's sperm, which were passed on to subsequent generations. This means that an acquired fear, a traumatic experience, can be inherited through epigenetic modifications. If negative experience can be inherited at a biological level, then what can be said about deeply ingrained positive beliefs, about the purposeful formation of mental patterns, about conscious contemplation of universal truths? Haanel, perhaps intuitively, understood that systematic work with thought can not only change the person themselves, but also influence their biological nature, creating favorable conditions for the realization of the desired. Psychoneuroimmunology, another field that unites mind and body, studies the interaction between psychological processes and the nervous and immune systems. Dr. Candace Pert, in her groundbreaking book Molecules of Emotion*, published in 1997, showed that emotions are not merely abstract feelings, they are biochemical signals that circulate throughout the body. Neuropeptides, which she called molecules of emotion, link the brain, endocrine, and immune systems, providing constant bidirectional communication. Our thoughts and feelings directly influence our physiology, including the body's ability to fight disease. Numerous studies conducted by Janice Kikolt-Glaser and Ronald Glaser have shown how stress and negative emotional states suppress immune function. For example, medical students during examination periods showed reduced activity of immune cells, slower wound healing, and decreased vaccine efficacy. These studies irrefutably prove that mental state directly affects physical health. If negative thoughts and stress can weaken our body, it is logical to assume that systematic, positive, focused thought, as Haanel suggests, can, on the contrary, strengthen the immune system, contributing to overall well-being, longevity, and resilience. This creates not just a mental, but also a biological basis for the embodiment of your intentions. And, finally, the placebo phenomenon, one of the most convincing proofs of the mind's ability to influence the body and reality. A placebo is an inactive substance or treatment that nevertheless causes real physiological or psychological improvements solely due to the patient's belief in its effectiveness. In 1955, Dr. Henry K. Beecher conducted a meta-analysis of 26 studies and found that the placebo effect occurred in an average of 32% of patients and in some cases reached 60% or higher. People experience pain relief, improvement in conditions such as ulcers, depression, Parkinson's disease, and even some types of cancer by taking sugar pills or undergoing sham surgeries. Mark 11:24. The quote, Haanel asks you to focus on what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them, is the quintessence of the placebo principle. It is not merely a matter of believing in a miraculous pill, it is a matter of believing in the boundless power of your own consciousness. Haanel invites you to consciously and systematically apply this principle not to a single illness, but to your entire life. By contemplating this phrase, you activate internal mechanisms of expectation and belief that, as science shows, are capable of causing real, measurable changes in your body and your environment. You learn to consciously direct this innate ability for self-healing and self-realization, becoming not a passive patient but an active creator of your destiny. These scientific discoveries, made decades after the publication of the Master Key System, do not merely confirm Haanel's intuitive insights, they give us a deep understanding of the asterisk mechanisms by which focused thought, belief, and intention can transform our inner and outer reality. They show that the practice you are about to begin is not an esoteric fantasy, but a scientifically grounded method of working with the most fundamental forces of human consciousness. However, before modern science began to unravel these complex connections between mind and matter, many ancient traditions already possessed a profound understanding of the power of focused thought and inductive contemplation. For millennia, sages and mystics of various cultures arrived at similar conclusions about the nature of reality and the human consciousness's ability to shape it. These parallels are not accidental, they point to the universality of the principles that Haanel sought to systematize. In the Hermetic tradition, attributed to the legendary Hermes Trismegistus, the principle as above so below, as within so without, holds a central place. This aphorism, enshrined in the emerald tablet asserts that the universal laws of the microcosm and macrocosm are identical. In one of the foundational Hermetic texts, the Poimandris it is described how the divine mind or nous reveals itself to man through deep introspection and contemplation. The man who comprehends this inner light gains the ability to understand and influence reality. Hermeticists believed that thought is a manifestation of the divine mind in man, and therefore it possesses creative power. Their practice included deep contemplation of symbols and principles to grasp universal laws, which directly echoes Haanel's method of unfolding the meaning of a single phrase. Buddhism, 2.5 millennia before Haanel, proclaimed the primacy of mind in shaping reality. In the Dhammapada one of the most sacred texts of Buddhism, the first stanza states, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts we make the world." This is not merely a poetic metaphor, but a fundamental assertion underlying all Buddhist philosophy and practice. The Buddha taught that our experience, our suffering, and our liberation all are creations of our mind. Meditation practices such as samatha, calm abiding, and vipassana, insight, are aimed at training the mind so that it can clearly see its own nature and cease creating illusions that lead to suffering. Haanel's focused contemplation is a form of meditation that allows the mind to realize its creative power. In the ancient Indian tradition, in the text Yoga Vasistha a dialogue between the sage Vasistha and Prince Rama, the world is described as Manas Srishti, the creation of the mind. The sage Vasistha explains that all perceived reality is a projection of consciousness, akin to a dream. He emphasizes the power of sankalpa, purposeful intention or focused thought, which possesses the ability to shape destiny. Through deep self-introspection and contemplation on the nature of consciousness, one can free oneself from illusions and realize one's true, boundless nature. The practice proposed by Haanel is a direct path to mastering this sankalpa, to consciously shaping one's reality. The Jewish mystical tradition Kabbalah also contains deep parallels with the method of inductive contemplation. Kabbalists seek to comprehend Ein Sof, the boundless, the incomprehensible aspect of God, through the study and meditation on the 10 Sephirot, divine attributes through which the Creator manifests. The practice of hitbonut or deep contemplation often involves meditating on a single letter of God's name or one aspect of the Sephirot. Through this focused immersion in the particular, the Kabbalist seeks to reveal universal truth, to see the entire cosmology, the entire structure of the universe, contained within a single point. This strikingly resembles Haanel's call to contemplate the boundlessness of the promise contained in a single biblical phrase. Stoics, such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, who lived in ancient Greece and Rome, also emphasized the exceptional power of the mind. Epictetus taught that it is not things themselves that disturb men, but their opinions about these things. That is, not external events, but our attitude towards them determines our well-being. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in his Meditations "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Stoics called for constant self-reflection, for discipline of the mind, for focused contemplation on the principles of virtue and reason. Their practice consisted of consciously forming their inner states, their judgments, to remain unperturbed in the face of external circumstances. Haanel's practice of focused contemplation is a deeply Stoic approach to managing one's inner world, to shaping one's perception and consequently one's reality. In Zen Buddhism, especially in the Rinzai school, koans are widely used, paradoxical questions or stories designed to lead the mind out of habitual logical constructions and open it to intuitive insight. A classic koan: "What was your face before your parents were born?" This question has no rational answer. It requires deep, non-linear contemplation that breaks down conceptual barriers and leads to a direct experience of truth. This is very similar to Haanel's call not to seek a ready answer, but to allow meaning to unfold, allowing intuition to emerge from the depths of consciousness. It is through such focused, non-conceptual contemplation that Satori, sudden enlightenment, is achieved. These ancient traditions, each in its own way, emphasized the same truth. The human mind possesses incredible power to shape reality. They offered methods that, in essence, are inductive contemplation, from focusing on a single idea, symbol, or question to revealing universal laws and the deepest truths. Charles Haanel was perhaps one of the first to attempt to translate this ancient, esoteric wisdom into a language understandable to the Western mind, systematizing it into a practical system for achieving personal goals. He showed that these principles are not the privilege of chosen mystics, but are accessible to everyone willing to make focused effort. It is precisely through such an approach, systematic, purposeful contemplation, that many outstanding individuals of the 20th and 21st centuries have achieved incredible success, often without even realizing that they were applying principles outlined in the Master Key system. Their stories serve as living proof of the efficacy of Haanel's method, demonstrating how focused thought, belief, and intention can transform a life. One such figure is Earl Nightingale. In 1956, he recorded an audio message titled "The Strangest Secret." It was a short 20-minute recording that subsequently became the first million-selling bestseller in the history of the personal development industry. In it, Nightingale articulated a simple yet profound truth: you become what you think about most of the time. He asserted that people who are focused on their goals achieve them, and those who are focused on fears and doubts attract precisely that into their lives. Nightingale arrived at this conclusion by deeply studying the works of Napoleon Hill and other thinkers, including, undoubtedly, Charles Haanel. He realized that successful people, regardless of their field of endeavor, shared one common trait: they constantly and purposefully held in their consciousness the image of the desired outcome. The Strangest Secret not only changed his own life, transforming him from a modest radio host into one of the most influential motivational speakers of his time, but also inspired millions of people worldwide to begin consciously managing their thoughts to shape their destiny. This was a direct embodiment of Haanel's 11th lesson applied on the scale of mass communication. Napoleon Hill, whose name has already been mentioned, is another vivid example of the practical application of the principles underlying the Master Key system. His monumental work *Think and Grow Rich*, published in 1937, became a Bible for entrepreneurs and individuals striving for success. Hill's story began in 1908 when a young journalist interviewed steel magnate Andrew Carnegie, one of the wealthiest men in the world. Carnegie challenged Hill to spend 20 years researching the lives of 500 of America's most successful people to identify the universal principles of their achievements. Hill accepted this challenge and for 2 decades interviewed giants such as Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, Theodore Roosevelt, and Alexander Graham Bell. He discovered that despite differences in their fields of activity, they all employed similar mental strategies. Among these were definiteness of purpose, persistence, the power of the master mind, group consciousness, and especially important, autosuggestion, the conscious implantation of desired thoughts and beliefs into the subconscious mind. These principles are in essence an expanded and empirically confirmed version of what Haanel described as the power of focused thought and belief. Hill showed that systematic, purposeful contemplation of one's goal, bolstered by belief, is a most powerful tool for its realization. Steve Jobs, the brilliant co-founder of Apple, also intuitively applied principles similar to Haanel's inductive method. In his famous commencement address at Stanford in 2005, Jobs recounted his experience attending calligraphy classes at Reed College, which he dropped out of. At the time, it seemed a completely useless endeavor. However, 10 years later, when he was designing the first Macintosh, it was precisely the knowledge gained in those courses that allowed him to create a computer with beautiful typography, which was revolutionary for its time. Jobs called this connecting the dots looking backwards. He said that it is impossible to connect the dots looking forward. They can only be connected by looking backward. This is a profound understanding that seemingly disparate elements of experience, if allowed to emerge and be contemplated, can coalesce into a unified, harmonious picture. His ability to see universal principles of design and user experience in the smallest details, his intuition that guided him through innovations, was the result of deep, focused contemplation on what he wanted to create. He did not seek ready answers. He allowed meaning to unfold. Much as Haanel urges you to unfold the meaning of a single phrase. And of course, Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women in the world, openly acknowledges the enormous influence of Charles Haanel's The Master Key system on her life and career. She has repeatedly spoken in her interviews and on her shows about how the principles outlined in this book helped her build a media empire and become the person she is. Oprah regularly emphasizes the importance of intention, visualization, gratitude, and the power of thought. She teaches her audience that thoughts are energy that shapes our reality, and that each of us possesses the ability to consciously create our lives. Her success is not merely luck, but the result of consistent and systematic application of the principles Haanel presented to the world over a century ago. She, like many others, became a living embodiment of the idea that, "What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them." These stories are not merely anecdotes. They are powerful testaments to how inductive contemplation, focused thought, and unwavering belief, of which Haanel speaks, work in real life. They show that the method proposed in the 11th lesson is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a proven path to transformation, to the unfolding of the boundless potential inherent in every human being. It allows you to become not merely an observer of your life, but its conscious architect, capable of shaping your reality at your discretion. These stories are not merely anecdotes. They are powerful testaments to how inductive contemplation, focused thought, and unwavering belief, of which Haanel speaks, work in real life. They show that the method proposed in the 11th lesson is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a proven path to transformation, to the unfolding of the boundless potential inherent in every human being. It allows you to become not merely an observer of your life, but its conscious architect, capable of shaping your reality at your discretion. The principle underlying Charles Haanel's 11th lesson, the principle of inductive thinking, of focused contemplation, is not the sole domain of the chosen few or esoteric practices. It is deeply rooted in the very structure of human consciousness and manifests in diverse spheres of modern culture, science, and achievement. From psychology to business, From sports to cutting-edge scientific research, we see confirmation that deep immersion into a singular truth, allowing it to unfold from the particular to the general, is a powerful catalyst for breakthrough. Take, for example, psychology. Carl Gustav Jung, the great Swiss psychiatrist, spoke of individuation, the process of becoming a whole, unique individual. This path is a nonlinear journey where one inductively gathers fragments of conscious and unconscious experience, symbols, dreams, and experiences, and integrates them into a unified, meaningful picture of the self. This is a movement from particular manifestations of the psyche to universal archetypal meaning, to the discovery of one's true essence. Haanel's practice is, in essence, a methodology for accelerating this process of individuation, for consciously contemplating and integrating inner truths. Abraham Maslow, one of the fathers of humanistic psychology, described peak experiences, moments of profound joy, wonder, inspiration, and understanding, when a person feels unity with the world and the fullness of being. These experiences often arise in a state of complete absorption in an activity, deep concentration, when attention is fully focused on one object or idea. It is in such moments, when external noise subsides and consciousness delves into a single point, that the unfolding of meaning, of which Haanel speaks, occurs. This is not merely an emotional surge, but a transcendent experience that shifts perspective and bestows profound insight. Modern cognitive sciences, particularly the work of Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman, allow us to view this through the lens of System 1 and System 2 thinking. System 1 is fast, intuitive, automatic thinking that we use in daily life. System 2 is slow, deliberate, logical thinking, requiring effort and concentration. Haanel's method intentionally shifts us from System 1 mode to System 2 mode, compelling us to slow down, delve deeper, analyze, and synthesize information, without relying on superficial judgments. It is in this deep, focused System 2 mode that true insights and breakthroughs are born. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, the Hungarian-American psychologist, introduced the concept of flow, a state of complete absorption in an activity, where a person is so focused that they forget time, themselves, and feel at one with what they are doing. This is a state of optimal experience, where challenges match skills, and attention is fully concentrated. Achieving a state of flow is a direct consequence of deep inductive focus, where one aspect of a task unfolds in its entirety, and you become one with the process. In the world of sports, we see these principles in action at the highest level. Michael Jordan, acclaimed as the greatest basketball player of all time, was known for his incredible ability to enter the zone, a state where he seemed to slow down time, anticipate opponents' movements, and every shot was flawless. This was not by chance. It was the result of thousands of hours of purposeful training, visualization, mental rehearsal, where he inductively dissected every aspect of the game, every shot, every pass, perfecting them. His zone is a manifestation of deep focus that allowed him to see the entire game in a single point. Kobe Bryant, another basketball legend, called his approach Mamba mentality. This was a philosophy of obsessive dedication, relentless pursuit of perfection through the deepest analysis and practice. He spent hours studying game footage, dissecting opponents' movements, perfecting every element of his technique. He did not merely train, he contemplated every movement, every decision, allowing one detail to reveal to him the entire strategy of the game. His success was the result of inductive mastery, where every minute detail mattered and led to global superiority. In the business world, these principles are also a cornerstone of success. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is known for his customer obsession. His approach is a constant inductive contemplation of the needs of a single customer, of one aspect of the user experience, and then scaling these insights to billions of users. His day one is a philosophy of perpetual starting, perpetual learning, perpetual unfolding of meaning from the smallest details of feedback. Elon Musk, founder of SpaceX and Tesla, is renowned for his first principles thinking. Instead of reasoning by analogy, he breaks down problems to their fundamental truths, to atoms, to basic laws of physics, and then builds solutions from scratch. This is the quintessence of the inductive approach. From the most basic, singular truths to the most complex engineering and business solutions, his ability to focus on one grand goal, be it the colonization of Mars or sustainable energy, and to relentlessly pursue it, is the embodiment of the power of focused thought. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors in history, applies a deep inductive approach to investing, known as value investing. He does not chase market trends. Instead, he thoroughly studies individual companies, their business models, management, and competitive advantages to understand their true intrinsic value. He allows one company, one principle of investing, to reveal to him the entire complexity of the market, building his empire on the basis of deep, focused insights. Modern science also provides us with astonishing confirmations of these principles. Neuroplasticity, a phenomenon described by Dr. Norman Doige in The Brain That Changes Itself 2007, shows that our brain is not a static structure. It constantly reorganizes, forming new neural connections in response to our experience, thoughts, and focus of attention. The deep, focused contemplation of which Haanel speaks literally reprograms our brain, creating new pathways for thinking and perception. You are not merely thinking, you are actively rebuilding your internal architecture. Epigenetics, a field of science popularized by Dr. Bruce Lipton, demonstrates that our genes are not our destiny. The environment, our beliefs, emotions, and even thoughts can turn certain genes on or off, affecting our health and well-being. Thus, the inner state, formed by focused thought, of which Haanel speaks, directly influences our biology, confirming that thought is not merely an abstraction, but a powerful force shaping our reality at the cellular level. Even in the realm of quantum physics, albeit with greater caution, parallels can be seen. Experiments, such as those conducted by Alan Aspect in 1982, confirmed the phenomenon of quantum entanglement, where particles remain linked and influence each other regardless of distance. While this is not direct proof of the influence of thought on matter, it hints at a deep interconnectedness of the universe, where focused intention perhaps acts on more subtle, invisible levels, shaping reality. However, like any powerful force, the principle of inductive thinking and focused intention also carries certain dangers if applied incorrectly or understood superficially. The first and perhaps most common mistake is naive positivism, or as it is also called, magical thinking. This is the belief that it is enough to simply wish for something or think positively, and the desired will materialize on its own without any effort or action on your part. Haanel, like other sages, never advocated passive waiting. He emphasized that thought is the seed, but for it to grow, it requires the soil of action, the watering of effort, and the sunshine of persistence. Without this, thought remains a barren fantasy. The second danger is the denial of reality. In an attempt to maintain positive thinking, some people begin to ignore obvious problems, difficulties, or negative circumstances. They convince themselves that if they simply do not think about the bad, it will disappear. This can lead to dangerous self-deception, avoidance of necessary solutions, and exacerbation of problems. The true power of focused thinking lies not in denying reality, but in transforming it through conscious action based on deep understanding. The third danger is what can be called toxic spirituality, or spiritual bypassing. This occurs when people use spiritual or self-help concepts to avoid confronting unresolved emotional traumas, personal responsibility, or the need for inner work. Instead of processing their fears or pain, they may rationalize them as a lack of faith or wrong thoughts. This creates a cycle of self-blame and guilt when desired results are not achieved, and the person begins to blame themselves for insufficient thinking or belief, instead of seeking practical solutions or professional help. The fourth pitfall is inaction. Haanel makes it clear that thought is the cause, but the effect manifests through action. If you focusedly contemplate your goal but take no steps to achieve it, your thought will remain potential, not embodied in reality. Thought must inspire and direct action, be its catalyst. And finally, there is the risk of manipulation. Principles like those outlined in the master key system can be distorted and used by unscrupulous individuals to exploit vulnerable people, promising instant miracles or quick solutions for a fee. It is important to remember that true power lies within you, and it requires discipline, patience, and consistent work, not magic spells or external intermediaries. Understanding these dangers allows you to approach Haanel's 11th lesson with wisdom and balance, using it as a powerful tool for creation, rather than an excuse to escape reality. Now that we have explored the depth and breadth of Charles Haanel's 11th lesson, it is time to move to practice. Theory without application remains merely knowledge, but not wisdom. Over the next 30 days, we invite you to immerse yourself in 6 specific techniques, each aimed at developing your inductive thinking, focus, and ability to shape your reality. Remember, the key to success is consistency and sincere intention. Asterisk. Practice 1. Silence and meditation. Asterisk. What to do. Daily. Find a quiet, secluded place where you will not be disturbed. Sit in a comfortable position, with your back straight but without tension. Close your eyes or focus your gaze on a single point. Concentrate on your breath, on the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. When your mind begins to wander, and it most certainly will, gently, without judgment, bring your attention back to your breath. The goal is not to stop thoughts, but to observe them without engagement, allowing them to pass by like clouds in the sky. Asterisk. How many minutes per day? 15 minutes. Asterisk. When to begin feeling the effect? The first sensations of peace, clarity, and reduction of inner noise may appear within 3 to 5 days. A profound reduction in stress, improved concentration, and emotional regulation will become noticeable within 2 to 3 weeks. Asterisk. Practice 2. Goal visualization. Asterisk. What to do? Choose one specific goal or desired outcome that you wish to manifest in your life. This can be anything: a new home, improved health, career advancement, harmonious relationships. Daily, in a relaxed state, preferably upon waking in the morning or before sleep in the evening. Close your eyes and imagine this goal as vividly and in as much detail as possible, as if it has already been fully realized. Engage all 5 of your senses. What do you see around you? What sounds do you hear? What smells do you perceive? What do you feel to the touch? Perhaps even what taste does this experience have? Most importantly, feel the emotions associated with achieving this goal: joy, satisfaction, gratitude, confidence. How many minutes per day? 10 to 15 minutes. When to begin feeling the effect? Small shifts in your mood, motivation, and the emergence of new ideas may be noticed within a week. A significant increase in confidence, the appearance of synchronicities and opportunities, as well as a feeling that the goal is drawing closer, will manifest within 2 to 4 weeks. Practice 3. Affirmations. What to do? Choose one positive, affirmative phrase that accurately reflects your desired state, belief, or principle you wish to strengthen. For example, I attract abundance and success. My mind is clear and I easily find solutions. I am healthy, energetic, and full of vitality. Repeat this phrase aloud or to yourself with sincere feeling and conviction. You may use a mirror, looking into your own eyes, to amplify the effect. Feel each word penetrate your subconscious mind. How many minutes per day? 5 to 10 minutes, several times a day. Morning, during the day, before sleep. When to begin feeling the effect? A change in inner dialogue, reduced self-criticism, and improved mood may be noticeable within 7 to 10 days. The strengthening of new, positive beliefs and more confident behavior will manifest within 3 weeks. Practice 4. Journaling and contemplation. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Each day, dedicate time to free writing. Choose one phrase from Haanel's 11th lesson. For example, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Or, power comes in repose. It is in the silence that we can think, and thought is the secret of all achievement. Or any other sacred, scientific, philosophical quotation that inspires you. Begin to write about it. What does it mean to you? How does it manifest in your life? What questions does it raise? What new ideas come to your mind as you contemplate it? Do not strive for a perfect text or ready answers. Simply allow your thoughts to flow onto the paper, unfolding meaning from the particular to the general. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 15 to 20 minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. When to begin feeling the effect? Increased self-awareness, clarity of thought, and the ability to formulate your ideas will become evident within 5 to 7 days. The identification of hidden patterns in your thinking, the reception of deep insights and new perspectives will manifest within 2 to 3 weeks. Asterisk, asterisk. Practice 5, gratitude. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Daily, preferably in the morning or before sleep, dedicate time to conscious gratitude practice. Write down or speak aloud 5 to 10 things for which you are sincerely grateful. These can be simple, everyday things: a cup of fragrant coffee, sunlight, a roof over your head, or more significant ones: health, loving relationships, the opportunity to learn and grow. The main thing is not just to list them, but to genuinely feel gratitude for each of these things. Allow this feeling to fill you. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 5 to 10 minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. When to begin feeling the effect? An immediate improvement in mood and reduction of negative emotions. An increase in overall happiness, optimism, and the ability to see the good in life will become noticeable within a week. A change in your overall perspective and focus on the positive aspects of reality will manifest within 2 to 3 weeks. Asterisk, asterisk. Practice 6. Mental rehearsal. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Choose a specific situation or event that lies ahead. For example, an important presentation, a difficult conversation, a job interview, a sports competition. Close your eyes and mentally play through this situation from beginning to end, imagining the best possible outcome. Visualize yourself confident, calm, competent, and successful. Imagine how you easily overcome any obstacles, how everything goes according to plan, and you achieve the desired result. Engage all senses, what you see, hear, feel when successfully completing the task. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 10 to 15 minutes before an important event or daily for general preparation and skill development. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. When to begin feeling the effect? Reduced anxiety, increased confidence, and improved concentration before a specific event will be felt immediately. Improved actual performance, more effective reactions, and the ability to cope with stress will manifest after several applications. These 6 practices, performed consistently for 30 days, will become your personal journey into inductive thinking. They will allow you not merely to understand the principles of Haanel's 11th lesson, but to integrate them into the very fabric of your being, unlocking the boundless potential that has always been within you. Thus, Charles Haanel's 11th lesson is a call to deep, focused contemplation. It is an invitation to cast aside external noise and immerse oneself in the silence where a single truth, a single phrase, a single thought can unfold into an entire universe of meaning. It is a path from the particular to the general, from a singular spark to a flame of awareness, from a simple question to the deepest understanding of universal laws. It is in the silence that we can think, and thought is the secret of all achievement. You hold in your hands the key capable of unlocking the doors to your true potential. This key is your capacity for focused thought, for belief in the boundlessness of the promise given to you. It demands discipline, patience, and a willingness to delve within yourself. But the reward for this is the ability to consciously shape your reality. In the next lesson, we shall delve into the fundamental laws governing this process, exploring precisely how our thoughts and beliefs interact with the universal mind to manifest the desired in the physical world. We shall uncover the mechanisms that allow you not merely to dream but to create, becoming a true master of your destiny. Imagine an invisible gardener who carefully selects a seed, plants it in fertile soil, waters it daily, and protects it from adversity. He does not see the roots, nor the first sprouts beneath the earth, but he believes in the potential inherent in that seed, and in time, from that one small seed grows a mighty tree, reaching for the sky, bearing fruit and shade. Your thought is the seed, your focused contemplation is the gardener's care, and your reality is the tree you cultivate.